Hello, hello, America and Britain and anywhere else that happens to be watching our videos. This is Audio Heads. We're part of Geeks Assembled, and this week we're discussing an eight-part uh, audio drama. Boy, is it dramatic! Um, of the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, called Once and Future
Mhm.
slash eight different things. And it's got sort of an amalgamation of all these different doctors. And it's quite dense. There's a lot going on. It's got one amazing, uh, really amazing foe in it. And we really get a lot of that. And that's pretty incredible. And so, yeah, it was strongly suggested by Lee, and I just thought that it was a good choice. And so, yeah, what's your opening thoughts on Once and Future?
Well, yeah, I thought, are we up to doing this mammoth task of eight in a week? And we
Yeah,
did,
that was
we
good.
did.
It was,
As you say, it was to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who, and Big Finish came up with this idea of
yep,
the Doctor being at some point hit by a degeneration gun weapon,
uh-huh,
which sends his regeneration cycle on on a tangent backwards and forwards. So he keeps degenerating into another one of his selves or back again, and he doesn't know how to stop it. Or so each story has a different lead doctor, but every now and again he changes to another doctor. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's different from other anniversary stories, and you've got so many characters in this from classic Who to new Who. Um, yeah, and also yeah, you've got well, we'll say as we go along who's in it and whatever. But how do you want to do this, Susan? Do you want to just go along?
well, the thing as a whole is there's literally too much going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, it really would be sort of a challenge to box it all in
Well,
one
okay,
thought
okay.
process.
We'll
So
go. We'll
go ahead
go.
and break it up into
One by,
parts.
okay then, one by one. So the first part, Once and Future, is called Past Lives, where we find the Doctor trying to cope with this degeneration state. And we have the monk, the meddling monk in this, played by Rufus
Mm.
Helm.
Rufus sound.
We have Kate Stewart. We have um, Osgood,
Osgood.
and we also have Sarah Jane. And I
Mm-hmm.
love the way this is for Sarah Jane happens just as the Fourth Doctor drops her off at the end of Hand of Fear,
Mm-hmm.
and the monk turns up and kidnaps her. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, this one has the Fourth Doctor in the lead. So you've got Tom Baker with the new unit folk. Um, you've you've also got special appearances by the first seven doctors. First Doctor Stephen Noonan, second Doctor Michael Troughton, third Tim Trelaw, fifth Peter Davison, sixth Colin Baker, and seventh Sylvester McCoy. So they all make little appearances when
All
keep
the
swap.
ones who all the ones who are right now at this point in Big Finish are all they are the ones that are playing the Doctor in their respective
Yeah, yeah,
timelines.
you're correct. But it's a great story to have Sarah Jane meet the Fourth Doctor again, because to her he'd only just left her, but for him it's been quite a while. So yeah, that sort of confrontation was quite good in this, and also you've got Kate Stewart, and they're seeing the Brigadier in her, which was quite nice. And Ingrid Oliver as Osgood, just being a fan of the Doctor as usual.
As usual,
With
and she wears the Fourth Doctor's scarf, and that's just fun.
celery, like that for the
And
fifth.
then she wears a celery as well.
Yeah, I like the way that the monk's trying to get away from the Fourth Doctor, but every time he comes out, there's the Fourth Doctor waiting for him.
Yeah.
The Fourth Doctor seems to think the degeneration has got something to do with the monk.
Yeah, and that
Um,
that actually impels quite a few of the stories in this set.
yeah, so that's just a rough setup for the first story, and then you go to the second story, the artist at the end of time, where you've got the Fifth Doctor played by Peter Davison, Jenny, who was created for the Tennant story, the Doctor's daughter.
Daughter.
Yeah, played by Georgia Moffat, who we all know is Pete Davidson's daughter in
Yeah,
real life.
in real
So,
life,
so you've got father and daughter together in this, but then also
playing father and daughter,
you've also got Colin Baker in this, not playing the Sixth Doctor, but playing the curator
and the artist.
and the artist at the end of time, which is a good concept to this, where he goes to these planets and paints these sceneries from the planets, and then the planets destroy themselves, and
Huh.
so that's the gist of that story.
And because he's a Time Lord, I mean, of course, it's going to be one of those 3D amazing paintings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I'm only quickly going through these. So the third one is called A Genius for War, where we have Sylvester as the Seventh Doctor. We have the General back from was it Day of the Doctor? Um,
Yep.
and we also have Terry Malloy as Davros. And of course, we have the Daleks in this, played by Nick Briggs. Where this one is where Davros wants to make a deal with the Time Lords. He will help them sort of defeat the Daleks by creating a Dalek Time Gallifreyan hybrid, by using genetically modified DNA from each race, which is where if you remember rightly, the Capaldi story was always going about the hybrid.
Right.
So that's where I think where they've sort of put that into this story. Of course, Davros isn't all what he seems. Nasty piece of
Right.
work. Yeah.
Right.
And then we move on to what's this one? The fourth story, called Two's Company, where we have the Sixth Doctor with Harry Sullivan, played marvelously by what's his name? Get the cast list up here. There we are. Christopher Naylor. He's been playing Harry Sullivan for a few years now, and he actually does really get Ian Marter's sort of.
It does.
It really does. You forget it's not Ian Marter.
Right, you do. That's true. It's
Um,
good.
yeah, we also have the return of Jackie Tyler in this, played by Camilla, and also Lady Christina de Souza, Michelle Ryan,
Yeah.
um, which you get them all together. You get the confrontation from Jackie with this version of the Doctor,
Uh-huh.
worried about Rose. Where is she? You get the Master Thief, Lady Christina, and you get Harry, who's been duped by this renegade who's pretending to be the Doctor.
Right. The renegade is a form of the ultimate villain that we're talking that's basically this is kind of like a secondary entrance for that villain
Yeah. So you've got all that going on, which is it's great. In this one, it is great back and forth because
because in this one you start to hear that one's conversation inside their own mind.
yeah, and then we move on to the fifth one, which is the Martian invasion of Planetoid 50.
Mm-hmm.
We get the first Doctor for a while in this,
Uh-huh.
and then he degenerates or regenerates into the 10th Doctor, played by David Tennant.
Uh-huh.
But you've also in the mix here, we've got the Missy, and you've got Strax, Lady, what's her name?
Madame Vastra.
Master, that's it. I never can. And
Madame Vastra and Lady Jenny
Jenny, yeah,
and and the interesting thing about that is that they are that they've been pulled apart and intellectually like separated as a couple. They both recognize each other
well,
and
but but this is good because Jenny is being held captive by Missy. She's under
right,
some mind control or something or other.
seriously, yeah.
And Vastra's prisoner as well, but she's threatening to do things to Jenny if she doesn't
Okay,
call.
in our last podcast, you mentioned how little you like the reformed
No,
Silurians.
yeah, I don't like them.
Okay, I just wanted
At least,
to bring that
at
up.
least in audio, I don't have to imagine her looking like that.
Okay, good. That's fine. Okay,
I,
good.
I can imagine her looking like a proper I can't say it now, Silurian.
Okay, all right.
Um, but this is a take
You
on
you 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 vo-
H.G. Wells.
you rated it so low. You're gonna have to be ribbed a little bit about it for a while here.
This this is a take on H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds
Mm-hmm.
with
Yes.
the mechanical Martian war machines.
And the
Uh,
red vines.
and yeah, yeah, and then also you find out in this could be the explanation why Missy is so insane because she's been hit with degeneration because she says it affected her differently. But
Mm-hmm.
to me, Michelle Gomez's characterization it's amazing. She goes off on one all the time.
She's awesome. She's awesome.
Yeah, she is. I mean, I didn't like the idea of her being the master, to be honest, when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But when she joined the audio world, she sort of won me over. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So yeah, a great story there. And then we move on to the next story, which is Time Lord Immemorial with Christopher Eccleston as the Ninth Doctor, David Warner as the
Oh my God.
alternative Doctor.
So when we heard his voice, I
Yes,
mean, I was like gasping. It still hurts that he's gone. Oh my gosh.
I think this was the last, could have been the last thing he did.
Oh,
I'm not
oh
sure
God.
what I think it might have been, but you could tell his voice
Oh,
wasn't his usual voice, was it?
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
but you've
oh
also
God.
got this Nicola
Livchenko!
Lutchenko, great character, and also you've got Gina McKee as the Lumiat. Now, if you've listened to,
Colubiat! Oh my gosh, that was awesome!
if you haven't heard the Lumiat before, she is a sort of
Valyard.
Valiad to the Master, to the
Uh-huh.
Missing. And also you've got in this as the Time Lord Immemorial, Robert Powell, amazing actor Robert Powell.
Jesus!
If you're old enough, you remember him, Jesus, yeah, or in the comedy TV program The Detectives. You know,
Jesus was in this. It was so sweet. So this is Christmas too, okay? Just so you know.
don't make me laugh.
Robert. No, I
And,
have to.
and
Because it was this whole thing has been really, yeah, it's very good.
to get, I know why they did David Warner with Christopher Eccleston, because Eccleston has said he doesn't want to appear with any other Doctor. But I know, but he admired David Warner so much he'd always wanted to work with him. So I think he jumped at the chance with that one. Then you say you've got creatures of well, it's sort of like sand people.
Yep.
So so there's that, and then we go back to number 7, where we get called the Union, where you find out we've got Doctor Number 8, played by Paul McGann, flitting about in between him and the fourth Doctor, Tom. He
Mm-hmm.
keeps zapping in between the two, mainly. And you've also got Susan, grandfather. And also you've got River Song in this. And also you've also got an ex-companion playing a different character, playing the Union, Maureen O'Brien, who used to play Vicky in
Yep.
the first Doctor era. And we find out that the Union is the one behind it all, who has this degeneration weapon, and she compounds planets, makes them into diamonds. Now, it's not a new idea, that, because that was a sort of idea we had in the Pirate Planet, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day with Tom Baker, where he compounded all
Yes.
the compressors. And we've got
But the pirate planet was just to create power sources. This is to create pretties.
pretties, yes, my diamonds.
Mm.
Uh, we've got the character. We all know the character 11, but this we
Yep.
have the two,
Yeah.
played by Michael Maloney. But also we have every Doctor under the sun, from the
Yeah.
first Doctor to the 10th Doctor. We even get the War Doctor in this, and we even
And
get
no,
the
and
11th
the 11th Doctor was played by
Dudman.
Jacob Dudman, and Dudman played the 12th Doctor as well.
Yeah,
So
so you get nearly all the Doctors here. The only one what doesn't appear really is
Jodie.
Eccleston. Eccleston. He's not in
Oh,
this one.
okay. Well,
So,
that's because there are too many other doctors.
yeah. So I mean, I can't fault Dudman's 11th Doctor. He just sounds so much like Matt Smith.
But he
His
didn't do
take on the 12th Doctor is a bit
he didn't do
iffy.
a very good job on the 12th Doctor, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can see where he's trying to. You get a gist of Capaldi in the sort of speech, but he's not 100% Capaldi. I would say he's about 80% there.
But
But
he's not all the way. It's not that he's not Capaldi. It's that he's not all the way um, Glaswegian. He's just sounds so sort of softer. It's really Highland.
yeah,
It's not that soft. That solid Glaswegian stuff like you get with Capaldi or Robert Carlyle, to mention one.
yeah.
You know.
I mean, Jacob Dubman doesn't do these anymore. He left a couple of years ago to do other things. So we don't have the 11th or 12th Doctors now on audio. So we are missing a big gap now.
Hmm.
But I think
But
one of the
as soon as Matt Smith is done with the dragon, the House of Dragon stories, he'll be coming.
I doubt it very much, but we'll see. But one of the things stood out for me for this one was the little scene near the end of this where the Eighth Doctor says, "Oh, someone wants to say something to you," and he
Oh,
degenerates into the First Doctor.
oh,
That little scene with Susan and her
that
grandfather.
was so sweet. Oh my God. And
Yeah,
Susan is perfect.
and then we get to the final one, which was released a year later after all these.
Mm,
Strange reason, don't know why.
mm.
Coda, the final act. We get the War Doctor after he leaves the last episode of this into his TARDIS when he is sort of chased by another person with, and it's the Fugitive Doctor.
Uh-huh.
We've got the War Doctor and the Fugitive Doctor, who are played by Joe Martin, who they don't know who they are, each other. She's been given the job to bring him to capture him. And we've also got Lisa Bowman in this as Benny Summerfield. And it
Yeah,
takes
but you can see how Joe Martin's her the script that she's reading is starting to get wrong the names. She goes from calling her Benny twice to Lenny for the rest of it. So you can see how she was scripted to do that, but then you could also hear her start to stutter. I Joe Martin has been told that she precedes William Hartnell, so she has to adopt a lot of those mannerisms from Hartnell, and so that's it. She's really quality about those.
I mean, in this as well, you've got the Vord,
The Ford,
which I've always liked the Vord.
yeah,
And also we've got,
they're in rubber suits and they look like little you know uh a little masochistic or sadistic or whatever. It's just
yeah.
you just can't
I
beat
mean,
them,
you could, you've got Queen Elizabeth I in this
right?
in
And
space.
the War Doctor should remember that he was there when he was talking to her, and she married the 10th Doctor.
Uh-huh. Unless this happened before that happened.
I don't know. Yeah,
Tiny whammy.
I
But
don't know.
what do you think to the Jonathan Cowley's performance as the War Doctor?
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. It was. It was enough like John Hurt around the time of Naked Civil Servant that it was decent.
Well, yeah, because he's playing the younger version, but
Right. It wasn't the
no, like you
gruff
said,
one.
yeah.
Right, I know.
So
It was good.
yeah, it takes Benny to figure out that these two people who were one's trying to get away, one's trying to catch them, are both the same person. Uh,
Right.
but
And I love the archaeology that she's doing. Like she's like, would you quit using a fucking trowel? You gotta use a brush. Use a brush. You just scraped off some shit. I was like, God.
but all in
But
all, that was just a quick run through of each story. But all in all, for me, a great celebration of 60 years in audios, for Big Finish. The only thing is, there was certain characters what I would have included. I mean, you could have had Joe Grant in it or the Brigadier.
uh-huh.
You could have, you could have had Jamie or
Uh-huh.
have a Tegan or someone like that. But
Yeah.
there's only so many, I suppose, only so many people you could involve in this.
But all those guys were in the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, but some of these were as well.
Yeah, I know. I know, but the reality is that they had the 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 two most amazing. Here's me really knowing the times.
Uh-huh.
The best celebrations of the 60th and the 50th were done by Big Finish,
We know that. We
and
know that.
I can't I can't say it enough that this was absolutely magnificent. It was so beautiful. Like they're fighting a Time Lord with like all these different personalities, like the 11, the 12, the 9, the 6, the 2, the I think that's all the ones that we got to hear. But then like the 2 with the voice in their head, back and forth thing, and like that was I just loved how that went. I just you know and the union being sort of like an amalgamation, sort of like the 12th Doctor was an amalgamation of a bunch of different personality types and strong suits and
Uh,
things like that. And then I also like the inclusion of Susan and River in their own story together. They needed that, and it was just like a Diary of River song, sort of. It did my heart very good, and especially since like it was all like the way the Eighth Doctor adventures were, that relative dimensions, and those other two stories that I just you know how they were. This was capturing those moments because it was the Paul McGann Susan interactions, Paul McGann Carol Ann Ford interactions were so tight. They were just like they just stopped talking 12 years ago and just started talking right again right now.
yeah.
Like it didn't seem like any time had passed at all. And it was good to have Harry Sullivan back. I love the fact that he's back in audio.
Oh yeah, it's
And
been back for a while now.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love that, and I love the fact that Missy is great fun, and that they went from Missy to the Illuminati. I that was like I knew that was gonna happen. That Yeah, that's the way it was up. That was fun. And so, yeah. Anything stand out to you?
Um,
I mean,
yeah, I, I say of all the 8 releases, you've got. I would say you shouldn't miss any of them because they are sort of connected. The storyline is connected, so you have to listen to all 8 in order, or you will lose
yes,
track of what's going on. Uh,
yes.
so this is why last week I said to you, Susan, make sure you listen to them in order.
Mm-hmm.
Get confused. What stands out for me? I like everything about it. As I say, having characters from the show's history, like Harry and Sarah,
Yeah.
done so well by Liz Sladen's daughter.
Mm.
Um, having evil characters like Davros appear, and it's just like great times had by all. You know, as you say, Missy. Um, hearing David Warner, I know he sounded like he was in pain with his voice, his vocal
Mm-hmm.
cord, but he was a trooper to the end and wanted
Uh-huh.
to. He said he loved working for Big Finish, so that's something to be proud of for having David Warner do this. Um, Anything with Tom in it is fine by me. And to keep building on the storyline of the War Doctor, because they're releasing
Mm.
them again and again, and to just build on that legend of the unknown Doctor. And now they're going to be doing that with the Fugitive Doctor, because the Hair First box set comes out next month. Or was it this month? I think it's next month.
Nice.
So, so, so they're having, and also having like Caroline Ford in these, which the TV never seem to want to do
I
nowadays,
know.
because missed
Hello.
opportunities.
Hello.
Yeah. So, but yeah, a great celebration of 60 years, in my opinion. You've got everything in this.
Yeah, you do. It's so nice. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really, really dense and it's so much fun. Listening to it one after another, it doesn't take long. It takes maybe like 25 minutes, I think, in perceived time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, actual time may have been 10 hours, something like that, but perceived time was 25 minutes. It's good.
Yeah, yeah.
And the idea of a degeneration, right? Like that's what everybody's been asking for forever. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
They
it's a
all
great.
want the doctor to get shot with this thing and turn up like David Tennant and show up everywhere. That's just what all these fanboys and fangirls want, for a shot and
It,
turn up like Tom
it,
Baker.
it's the
That's
best
it.
way. It's the best way to bring old doctors back.
Yeah, yeah. It is.
I mean, to have, I know you didn't really see eye to eye with Matt Smith when you met him, but to have
Right?
Jacob Dugnan portray him in this, I mean, to hear the
But
11th
he did,
Doctor.
yeah, but he did a good job on the Sarah Jane Adventures. That I there were some things that he wasn't such a nitwit
Yeah,
about,
but to,
but
to,
there
to
were
hear
other things
Jacob
that he
Dugnan
was.
portray that Doctor out with the line of, oh, a jammy Dodger. But you know, you
Uh-huh.
think, oh yeah, one of the 11th Doctor's sort of famous lines about jammy dodgers and
Hmm.
just bringing little things back like that from the show.
Yeah, yeah, that was great. And then having him get hit again, and suddenly he's like the 12th Doctor, and
Mm.
again, the 12th Doctor. I can't I can't understand why PCAPs won't just sign up and do some audio adventures. It would just be so smart.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many times they've asked him.
Mm.
He just seems to think he's done his bit. He's done his stint on TV. Don't want to. That's it.
Mm.
But we thought we'd never get Eccleston. So
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
never say never.
All right.
Never
All
say
right.
never.
All right. I won't. So, anything else?
No, no, that's a great, enjoyable 8-part epic. Just think though, just think if that was done on TV, one how epic that would have looked.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like those crystalline, like creatures, and then the sand people, and like but the crystalline creatures, like and then like the people getting squished down by that device and becoming diamonds. And then, Maureen O'Brien, that was cool. That really was. Okay. All right. So there's a lot of really good things about this. And the other thing that's really cool, in my opinion, Sadie Miller can do no wrong. She is absolutely spot on with what how her portrayal of Sarah Jane is. You
And,
know,
and also as well, her voice it has got a hint of Liz.
of
You
course
know,
it does. Yeah,
and you think, well, yeah, it's not Liz, it's Sadie, but it's Sarah Jane. Wow, yeah. So
yeah,
these characters live on. These characters live on. So Sarah Jane lives on. Harry lives on.
mm,
The
yeah,
first Doctor lives on. Second Doctor lives on. Third Doctor lives on.
yeah, precisely.
Thank you, great actors.
Yep. And so, what's your final say and score there, Mr.
Well,
Wilson?
compared to my other score on another cast,
That
well, I will give this
was so low.
enjoyable. Yeah, there was some characters what you could have had, but then it might have been a 10-parter if they included more. Yeah, I'm going to give this as a whole 10 rubber-clad vods out of 10. It's an amazing, epic celebration from Big Finish.
Yeah. Well, I will agree with the numerical, but I think it was at least 10 multiple personalities out of 10. I think it was great. I think I love the villain. I love that idea that this Time Lord wanders around with all these voices in his head, all of these other things. And then I also love the Illuminat, and like that's just fun too. That's like Missy restored. Anyway, it's fun, and yeah, the whole the whole story was so good. It was so good. that I would strongly suggest you get to listen to it. You know, if you can find it, as it gets released on either, you know, on any of the streaming, or, you know, go to bigfinish.com and buy them. I mean, they'll blow your mind, and each of the special edition audio files has at the end of it has a significant amount of interviews.
Yeah.
So that's really fun too, because you get to know the circumstances and the situations and how it was put together and how much fun it was for these folks to work together. And so awesome. Happy 60th anniversary, Doctor Who. We love the show. We do. We absolutely love it. You know, it's not out of our purview to be to be watching nothing but Doctor Who on a week. And so grateful to have all this stuff. And yeah, so join us if you want. Join us on our podcast if you want to talk about these things. Talk about our audio, talk about our video, whatever videos we're watching. We're watching TV shows and movies, and also we are you know, at some point we also do music reviews, and that's fun too. And so yeah, dig in with us if you want. And the only thing you need is a TV camera, excuse me, a TV camera, a camera, a microphone.
A TV camera. Where am I going to get a TV camera from?
I don't know, but a microphone and oh wow, what has happened here?
Mm.
I don't.
You paid your electric bill?
I don't
Oh,
know,
yeah.
but a microphone and or a headset and let's see, a device, a Zoom,
Mhm.
and I think I'm frozen, and I may have been frozen for
Yeah,
a
you
few.
are. But
Anyway, we just would like to invite you to join us, and also like and subscribe when you hear the bell, when you select the bell notification. Did you hear that?
mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, good.
No.
No. Okay, ding ding. Then
Ding
select
ding.
the bell notification, and just know that we'll be turning out new content every twice a week anyway. So just do that, and then also by all means, yeah, have yourself a happy holidays, and we are yeah, we'll be back, and this is the first podcast of 2025. So yeah, happy New Year, everybody, and happy Who Year too. So that's it for us.
Happy 1963.